I'm Jenni Baldwin, the Director of Alumni Engagement at the Overlake School, and this is Conversation with an Alum. And it's a pleasure to be able to pick an alum from our community. And our first guest is Lisa Orenstein, my friend and former colleague. She taught at Overlake for 32 years and retired in 2024. And so we're going to be catching up with Lisa and all the things she's been doing since she retired. So Lisa, hi. And welcome.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm really flattered to be the inaugural guest. And it's going to be really fun to just talk about what I've been doing and what is an extension of the work I did at Overlake, what is brand new. And I'm excited about this.
Yeah, our alumni are excited to hear from you. So I want to hear, I know you had been talking about retirement. So when and how did you decide to retire, or why, I guess?
Right. Well, I think one of the clues that I was ready to retire was actually when we were teaching online during COVID. So I don't know how
we
many
all
people
remember those COVID moments.
And I actually was not at school during the initial closing down of the campus because I was on sabbatical. So I was kind of watching from afar and watching everybody, sort of going gray, pulling their hair out with just how the challenges everyone was facing. And then we come back in the fall of 2020 and we're still at home. And
back is a relative term.
Right,
yes.
right. I have to say, I loved teaching online. And I realized, why does everybody hate it so much? I think it's great. Of course.
We had different experiences.
Right. So part of it could just be the amazing students that I had that made it possible to have my classes work well. But it also was just a little clue that maybe I really was desiring more control over my own time. Mm-hmm. I mean, when we were teaching online, when I didn't have a class, I would take a yoga class online. I really sort of loved that. So that was sort of the inkling I got that maybe it's starting to become time to do that.
You didn't want to be the servant to the 8-day rotating schedule anymore.
Exactly.
That you helped to create and that we're grateful for.
Yeah. So that was sort of the start. And then a lot of it, in a way is timing. So my last homeroom that I had graduated in 2023.
Yeah, that's right. With my homeroom.
With your homeroom.
Shout out class of 2023.
Yay. And shout out to a great ATL.
Thank you.
But also I got the 2023-2024 school year off of being an advisor and knew I would pick up a freshman homeroom in the fall. And knew I'm not going to be another 4 years. You know, that's going to be too much. I'll be like over 70 by then. So I was like, this just seems like the perfect time.
Yeah.
So that's really how I just made the decision.
The stars aligned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I love
exactly.
That.
So.
Well, I know so much intention and thought goes into leading up to retirement. And then retirement hits.
Right.
So did you, and I think a lot of people are like, whoa. What do I do now?
Right.
Did you go in with a plan for how you were going to retire and retire like a rock star? Or did you just think I'm going to ease into it and figure it out? Like, what was your retirement plan?
Okay, more the latter.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was because being a teacher, at least for me, required being planned.
Yes.
Every part of my
every second of every day
is planned, right? And when I'm not actually
and
teaching,
a lot of our day that's not here. Yes.
Right. When I'm not in the classroom, I'm thinking about the next thing. And so I didn't want my retirement time to be like my work time.
Yeah.
At the same time, I thought about, okay, what is it that I love about teaching just in general? Mm-hmm. And I loved that teaching gave me an opportunity to be creative. It gave me an opportunity to be helpful, and it gave me an opportunity to learn. So those are like the three things that sort of characterized why I loved being a teacher. So I thought, well, those are the three things I'm going to like carry into my retirement and find things that fulfill that. And instead of having it be one big thing, it'll be like a bunch of little different things. So that's sort of what I've done. And when I first got into retirement, the very first thing I did after summer was travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I know, because nothing's better than traveling when everyone else is back at work and school.
What is your favorite trip that you have taken since retirement? And was that an like off the school schedule trip?
Okay. The answer is yes, off the school schedule. And it was to northern Spain.
Amazing.
So Spain is my favorite country to travel in. And I don't really speak Spanish. But everything about it, the country, I just love. I love the pace. I love the history. I love the food. I just love that country.
I love that when you order a drink in a restaurant in Spain, snacks appear out of nowhere.
I love that you can, I mean, this is for, luckily it's on YouTube, that you can just say, I'd have a glass of red wine, and they bring you an amazing glass
Yes.
without you having to stipulate what kind.
And
what
go
venue.
through a
Yeah.
48-page
Exactly.
wine list.
I love that they take a siesta in the middle of the day, and then like at 5:30, the whole world picks up again. So I went to northern Spain, which is a part of Spain I hadn't been before, which was really interesting because I did a little learning of Spanish. My younger daughter, Susanna, Overlake alum, class of 2011, is a fluent Spanish speaker, so she was helping me. And then I get to the Basque Country, and they're like, we're not speaking Spanish. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but, you know, thank God for Google Translate, and just really incredibly warm and nice people. So we were in Bilbao for 5 days, in Santiago de Compostela for 5 days, and then we traveled like in between, and it was just a great trip.
And you say we, who was on
I
this
went
trip
with my
you?
sister and my brother-in-law, and we had traveled before, both our two families together, but we all have adult children now, and so we just went on our own without our
Now you
children.
can go whenever you want.
Go whenever we want. Although I can go whenever I want, but we're having a family vacation next week.
Yeah.
But because Megan and Susanna both work for University of California, we have to go when everybody else in the world is going, but we'll get over that.
And where are you going
We're
next
going
week?
to San Miguel de Allende in Mexico. We leave on Tuesday. So.
And I think you might be seeing another alum while you're there.
I'm going to hopefully connect with Jimena and Esteban. I'm assuming maybe he'll be there as well.
Yes.
So, and Jimena has given us
and maybe
lots
Victoria.
yeah, you know, I never taught Victoria,
Yeah.
but Jimena has given us tons of restaurant recommendations, which of course is critically important for all of us and this family. But lots of art, lots of history, lots of food, lots of anthropology and archaeology. So it'll be a great trip. So I'm excited.
So she's going to meet up with a family of 3 alumni while they're there.
I know.
And Jimena serves on the alumni board as well.
Fantastic.
So, yes.
Yeah.
And I know she's a foodie. I always say when I travel, we just are eating in other zip codes or area codes. So it's part of the fun.
Exactly.
Tasting your way through a country.
Tasting your way through food tours, the greatest way to learn about a new city, but finding your way around there, but the history and the connection between the history and the culture and people and the role food serves. It's a great way to get to know.
Speaking of learning, you said one of the things that you loved the most about teaching was always getting to learn and continuing to be curious. And so is there a new skill or anything that how have you carried that piece into your retirement?
So I'm a member of the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, which is a nationwide institute out at, I think, 40 different universities across the country. And so UW
So they
has
partner with
They partner with
universities.
So I've taken some classes through them. I loved the fossil tree tour of the university of the UW campus, and these are trees.
Did you go through the arboretum too, or just the campus?
Just the campus.
Okay. Yeah.
And we had a docent. He was fantastic. And it's basically, he took us on a tour of all the trees on campus that are the only living species in the genus of that tree.
Whoa.
So like ginkgo trees, coastal redwood trees, monkey paw trees. So, but he was so knowledgeable. So that was really great.
That's a cool class. And is that free?
That field trip was free, but other classes are not free.
Yeah.
So you pay like a membership, and then depending on the class, you either pay. So I also took a class on human language, on the origins and uniqueness of human language, which was really cool. I have one coming up on Wednesday. I'm taking it's like a lunch and learn on 21st century art and politics.
Wow.
I know.
Love that. Are they some of them virtual, some of them in person?
Right.
Depends.
It depends. And I try to take the in-person ones because, you know, it's nice to be with real people sometimes and have a conversation about it afterwards. But not this week is virtual.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'm doing is I am doing a lot of drawing, because when I was in high school,
you were saying that creativity is one of the things you loved about teaching.
And I did a lot of drawing in high school, and I loved it. And
I did too. I took AP art, and now I can barely draw anything. So.
I took life drawing, the same class.
Drawing?
Yeah, we were allowed to take the same art class more than one time.
Oh, cool.
So I took that
so
class.
that you could hone the skill.
Yes.
That makes sense.
With Lyle Suter, we all still talk about him. And you know, those people from my high school that I still talk to. So I just started doing that, and I do a lot of it on people online and follow them. And some of it's just like okay, I'm just going to put paint on the paper in some random way that makes me feel good for the day. Sometimes I'll do like, lately I've been doing a lot of like drawing practice, because there's a skill to it also. And you like learn the skill and then combine it with the creativity.
It's like working a muscle almost.
exactly.
Yeah, I think it would come back to me. But yeah,
Right.
is that what you're finding?
Yeah,
that-
I'm finding that some of it's coming back and some of it's like, oh yeah, this is a better way of doing it, or
Yeah.
So
You said paint. Are you pencil and paint using different mediums?
different mediums. So ink, pencil, and watercolor. And the pencil is I'm doing colored pencil, because during the pandemic, a friend of mine from high school, who was also in Lyle Suter's life drawing class, got really into botanical drawing. And she goes, now I know why you love plants so much. But she turned me on to this class, and we started taking it with her. But at that point, everything was online, and I was teaching all day online. And then I was like, this is too much online. So I kind of dropped it. So now I'm back to it. So it's fun.
That's great.
So that's what.
Well, and it's what they used to say about handwriting, right? Is that it's the physical connection to the creativity and the mental piece that is
really
where
important.
the magic happens.
Exactly,
Yes,
which is why I always told my kids, like, I need you to take notes in a notebook with a pencil and paper.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Living that out in your
Trying
retirement.
yes, like, I'm telling you, it's really true.
That's great. I love it. What does a typical day look like? Are you still waking up when you would wake up for school?
Oh, God,
or
no, Jenny. I often, many, many times throughout my 41 years of teaching said, why did you choose teaching? You are not an early riser.
I actually know this about you. Yes.
So no, I get out of bed like 8:30, which is great. And then I have, like, my morning coffee, and I'm relaxing, and I'm, they're like cleaning up from the night before, checking my email. I try to
housekeeping.
I try to do my drawing practice actually in the morning. It's sort of what's taken it substitutes for working on the PowerPoint for the next unit kind of thing. So I do that. And then I usually by 11:30ish, I'm like out doing my exercise. Go to the gym, go for a walk, go to Pilates.
Lisa's an avid exerciser.
Yes, I try to do something active every day. And then I don't know, whatever, maybe meet up with people. I have to say, especially this time of year, nothing gives me more pleasure than going to a mid-afternoon movie on a rainy day.
Oh, that matinee where like the theater is kind of quiet and it feels cozy in there.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you go to the AMC and you push the button and your whole seat comes out in front of you. It's so great.
I love that.
I know. So I'm really enjoying that. And
we might have to do like a matinee with Lisa alumni meetup or something.
We would do that. Let's go to the We'll just like rent the whole theater out.
That would be so fun.
So especially this time of year where all the good movies are coming out, all the Academy Award ones. So anyway, so that's kind of a typical day. And then come home, make dinner, or just reheat. Last night's dinner.
Lisa's an amazing cook. I'm sure you're doing more cooking than reheating.
So I'm doing.
You also like to reuse something in a different way. Yes, I know that about you.
I do that a lot, and I've been doing more baking too because I've always
tis the season,
and I've been doing the sourdough.
Bread
since COVID. Susanna has been doing sourdough for way longer than COVID, and so she got me into it during COVID. But now I also bake bread for an organization called Community Loaves, which you bake bread, and then every other week you drop off what you've made, and then they give it, and for my hub donates the bread to HopeLink.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so the woman who started it is really quite remarkable in the system she's got going.
And how lovely to get a home-baked loaf of bread, in any moment of life, but especially in a moment where you're like so grateful for food in general, but to have really good quality, amazing
and
food.
know that it's been made with the best ingredients, and it's a very nutrient dense. So it's great. Yeah. So I've been doing that. And then I also, because I love food and I love eating out, and I have the privilege of having, going on food tours and eating restaurants and buying my produce at PCC. I'm looking for, volunteer activities around food. So besides baking the bread, I do for Jewish Family Services, they have a program where they once a month deliver groceries to Ukrainian and Russian Jewish refugees in the area. So I do that. So that is that's nice to be able to do that. So,
love you're spending your time being creative and filling your own cup, but also filling that for others.
Exactly. That's the being helpful part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. Well, what do you miss about teaching, and or what were some of your favorite memories from when you were teaching?
I think what I miss about teaching, I mean, I started off by talking about the learning, creativity, being helpful. You know what? I really enjoyed the diving deep into to a particular topic, going deeper than what I knew was necessary for my class, and then figuring out, okay, here's this body of information. How do I create a story, beginning, a middle, and an end that imparts the important information in a way that is sort of piques the students' curiosity, and in a way that's, entertaining.
Yes.
And so I really loved that challenge and that action, and then putting together the PowerPoint and the activity and creating the new activities.
Yeah.
And I mean, there comes a time when you just don't do that anymore. And so that's what I miss that about teaching. I
also know that happens to be what alumni loved about being in your class. Those engaging experiences that you curated for them.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy doing that. And so I miss that. And then I think I just have a lot of friends here at Overlake. And I loved, obviously being with the kids, which is sort of a cliche response because that's what everybody says, but you don't teach for 41 years unless you enjoy being with students.
You don't love science that much.
No, I know. Like, it's really a balance. Like, I can remember one time sitting at what they now call a summit, a Wednesday morning meeting, and one teacher at the table said, "Oh, well, let's be honest. Like, we went into teaching because we just love to be with the kids." And then I can remember another science teacher at the table, and I kind of looked at each other, and I was like, "Well, I think I went into teaching science because I love science, and I want to be able to explain it in a way that makes people, love it as much as I do and understand it with a reasonable degree of depth." But then over the years, of course, you can't help but marry those two elements. And so
it's like the subject draws you in, but then the kids keep you there.
Going there, because the kids continually present you with the challenge, right? So it's like, oh, there's all this new stuff happening in biology, and now I have
every
to
year
explain
you
it.
had different kids that you had to figure out, and
that like lesson A from 2019 doesn't really work with the same group in 2022.
That have different tools and different life experience.
Exactly. So I miss being in the classroom and interacting with students, and I miss my colleagues who were always so great. Luckily, we still see each other pretty regularly, whether it's you or folks from science. Thank God for happy hour.
Yes. Well, and Lisa's been a regular at our alumni events too. So, alumni out there, if you pop to an alumni event, you may just see
I tried to be there.
Lisa Orenstein at one of those events. Yes.
So it's fun to maintain. And, my kids went to school here. So my time at Overlake is kind of varied. It's not just being an employee.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got to see from the point of view of my kids being here. So that was great. Yeah.
Well, Lisa, thank you for being our inaugural guest on A Conversation with an Alum and alum faculty in this case. And I would love to have more guests. So if you want to be the next guest on A Conversation with an alum or alum community member, please reach out, and we'd love to hear what you think and what you've been up to. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.